Cam Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, sports book every Tuesday night, man. How was your weekend, Big Lou?
Weekend was good. It's that time of the year again as I fix my crown and I salute all of the sports book fan army. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. I applaud you. You survived. It's back.
No.
We can relax now. Great weekend. Spent time with the grandson. You know, he took over the house and he cannot be over-talked. He's 3 months, mind you.
Right.
3 months old, and he out-talks the room. The louder you get, the louder he talks. So it's great experience. It's like my second grandson, but first grandson that I have contact with, you know.
Right.
So it was good. It was a good time. Had a good time.
Good deal. Yeah, a lot happened over the weekend in sports. A lot of trades going on. We got the NBA. We got just a lot notable. So you got Ball going to Chicago, 4 years, $85 million. How do you think he's going to fit in over there?
Lonzo Ball might work. He might work. He'll feed Zach LaVine. Lonzo's got a great basketball IQ.
He does.
That's what works for him. He sees the court and, you know, he know how to get people open and get people shots. So he might do, you know, I'm excited to see what he looks like over there, you know, because he's free of, you know, the whole Ball brand, the Laker thing, you know, he's free from all that.
Right.
You know, so now it's going to be exciting to see. I think he'll do great over there.
I think he did pretty good in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. Yeah. I mean, he was. I think he's a really good basketball player. I think, I think Dad put a target on him. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
he kind of set the bar a little bit high. But with fathers, that's what we do. But we got to be realistic. You know, he's a great basketball player. You know, I'm a fan. You know, I want to see him succeed and grow into the star that he is, you know, and I think he'll do great over there. He'll do great things in Chicago.
I think he will. I mean, and obviously the Pelicans are making moves. So Chris Paul, he's 36. Yeah. He declined his option, which was $45 million. So either, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I mean, obviously either he wants more money from Phoenix or he wants to go somewhere else.
Right.
I don't know. You know, my thing is why not stay in Phoenix and try, or maybe why not try? And I guess he is at the end. I mean, I guess he's got 2 years left, maybe 3 years. Yeah, you know,
2
he's
years
36.
maybe max. 2 years max.
So he might be trying to go, but I mean, I don't know where he. If it's just about money, I think that's not a problem. I think somebody will offer him more money. But if he's trying to go to win, I don't know who has room for him. Does the Lakers have room for him after Kyrie? I mean,
after Westbrook and
I don't think they have
the Westbrook trade. You know, they let go of Kyle Kuzma and was it Andre Harrell? Yeah. Which I think, you know, I thought they would have had to let Kuzma go. There was a lot of barking after the season, so they had to let him go. He's, you know, to my personal opinion, he operates higher than his play displays, because I feel like if you're as good as you
think you are,
as you think you are, right, you would get the playing time, you know,
right,
or or you would be a part of the three pieces. Obviously, you're not. So,
right,
you know.
And I agree with you there. I think when you're dealing with, it's just like anything, they're looking for a gel, and I don't know if he necessarily was the right fit for them. Not saying he wasn't and not a good player, but he just, for some reason, obviously the Lakers didn't play him as much as he wanted to be played. There was a reason for that. They weren't just – I know something – it made it sound like it was personal, like they were just sitting him on the bench because they just didn't want to win, and that wasn't it at all. I think they had a different scheme going, and not everybody's a perfect fit. He'll win. I mean, he'll be fine. There's no doubt about that. You know, what's funny is I was reading and listening. I mean, for all those, you know, they got the top players in the that are free agents right now. This is what they consider to be the top players. Mm-hmm. Chris Paul, Kawhi, because Kawhi turned down his extension. Right. I mean, he can get more money and stay.
Yeah.
DeMar Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry. Miami's making a big push for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
To pair him up with
right, because Miami will have they were showing I can't remember. There's been so many trades, or so many attempts at trades. But those are the ones, and it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if Kawhi doesn't stay. I thought that was, you know, my thing with Kawhi's a little different guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's definitely he dances to his own drum. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, he left San Antonio, wasn't happy there. Went to Toronto. They got him a championship. Really thought after that he was going to stay one more, and he did it. I mean, I was so surprised. I was like, wow. And then he went. What? Yeah, he went to San Diego.
I think that was the first one and done in the NBA.
Could have been. And he went to the Clippers, and the Clippers are okay.
Yeah, they were right there. They were right there. It's just they didn't jail. I feel like if they had worked it out or sacrificed a little bit of their divaship to those guys, I think they would have lasted longer, albeit the injuries. You know, I think they would have went the distance. If you know, but
well, he may sign again. He may sign, with them again. It's just for more money. I don't know who could afford him. I mean, he can't go to the Lakers. He can't go to Brooklyn. The Jazz don't need him. Not saying they don't
give up so much to get him.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think New York's got $50 million. They're like got one of the biggest spending things. They're like $50 million underneath the cap, but that's not going to get him.
No.
Might get him for a quarter of the season or something. I don't know. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, these guys are.
Yeah, and you know how Kawhi is. He's not coming back until he's an absolute 100%. You know, he's and you know, and I understand, you know, but that's what you get with Kawhi. He's not going to step foot on that. He's not stepping foot on the court at 65, 75%. It's got to be full 100% in his head.
Yeah.
Then he's going to play. So, you know,
he's trying to protect himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and I get it, but you know, at the end of the day, it's like if I'm that close and I taste it, then you know, and I'm not one to tell players not to get their money. You know, get as much money as you can. I understand that, but after a while, once you accumulate your money, then okay, what type of legacy am I going to leave?
Right.
You know, and then, but you're going to have to invest in that.
Yep.
And that's how you do it. You know, you make it easy for the ownership to accumulate the pieces that you need to do what
around
you that you want to do. Right. And it's a back and forth thing, you know. So
let me ask you this. So do you think, because Milwaukee has money too that they can spend, do you think Milwaukee needs some more? We already talked about Milwaukee. The bench had to perform at a certain level, which they did.
Mm-hmm.
So next year going forward with a healthy Lakers, a healthy Jazz, a healthy Brooklyn, in theory, I mean, does Milwaukee need something to compete? Could they use an extra little piece to compete against them? I think they could use another big, actually.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt them.
No,
you know what I mean, it wouldn't hurt them just to have another big that could complement him when he's not on the court.
Right.
And I say that because when he's out, you're trying to make it not as obvious of a missing part.
Right.
I don't know. I'm sure they'll make some moves.
Right, because the main thing is to isolate James Harden, and when you isolate the big three, and you're gonna need bigs for that.
Yeah,
they got bigs, but like one more won't hurt. Because when all three of them on the floor, before they got hurt, we started to see what was finna happen.
Right.
When they finally started, like, okay, we starting to get our rhythm down, based off how we play, who day it is to run it.
Right.
Kevin's Kevin's the dude. So really it's between me and you, Kyrie, to figure out, according to, we got to figure out each other and see which one of us is on that night, so we'll know who's going to be the man that night, or the 1A. And they started to, they were starting to figure that out.
They were. It was let me tell you. Let me be honest with you. I would find it hard to bet on them for the season, and the reason being is because of the injury factor.
Yes.
Just because, I mean, it's like you're betting on can they stay healthy to the end of the season, because that's really what we're betting on. Because when they're healthy, they'll win 80% of their games. There's no doubt about that. But can KD stay healthy for a year? Mm-hmm. Can Harding stay healthy for a whole year? Right. We have these are bigger questions than how many points are they going to score. I already know how many points they're going to score. They're going to score 40 apiece. It's not a big not a mystery to what's going to happen.
Right.
But can James Harden make it through the whole season without having an issue? Can KD make it to the 50 and 60 game mark without an issue?
Right.
That's to me more of what I would be worried about than what they can do on the court. I'm not worried about what they can do on the court. We saw, like you said, a glimpse of what two of them could do. We saw what all three could do, a very small glimpse of all three. Mm-hmm. And they're dangerous with all three of them. That's a machine right there. I apologize, guys. So that's not the question. It's just whether or not they can really go a whole. And I'm going to tell you this, even with the Lakers, I'd be a little bit concerned about LeBron and AD, because LeBron's going to be 36 or 37 this year.
He just turned 36, I believe.
Okay, 30. Okay,
I believe he just turned 36.
He'll be turning 30. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not to criticize. It's just so. And AD's already accident prone.
History.
So of getting hurt, and again, we talked about it last week. That calf tear or rip seems to be the Tommy John of the old baseball. It seems to be they never seem to ever come back without it haunting injury. So we'll see. That's going to be. There's a lot of what ifs next year. That's for sure on the injuries. You saw the Hawks re-signed Trey.
Yes, Trey.
Trey Young. They re-signed him. He got some more money. It wasn't like I thought they weren't going to sign him by any means. Now, and like them, they make a couple moves, and they could be. Yeah. You might not want to see them. You know what I mean? They're
going to be there. They're going to be what Utah is to the West. That's what Atlanta could be for the East. if they could make some moves and get a couple of star players or veteran players that got game but has the knowledge of the game, you know, to get Trae Young to calm down and zone in, you know. We don't
Would
need
Chris Paul be a good fit over there?
You know, he probably would. But he's going to take over. And then that slows down their offense. That's the only thing about Chris Paul. As much of a court general he is, he's going to slow down your running gun offense. He's going to slow that down.
That's true. Yeah, and that's Atlanta's. That's really Atlanta's. That's their thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
if they had like a Mike Conley or someone like that. Oh my God, they'll be Mike Conley and probably another big. You know, they'd probably be dangerous.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They were dangerous this year. There's no doubt about it. And they believed in themselves and they came to play. And yeah, you're gonna have to be on your game with them. That's for sure. A couple moves like I said over there, that could be one of those rough spots that you don't want to go to. Right. You'll be like, man, we don't really want to go to Atlanta. But you know, we'll have to, like I said, we'll wait and see. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's Tuesday night on the Sports Book. We're going to pay some bills here in a minute, and we get back. We're going to talk a little bit more basketball. We got plenty of NBA, and got a little bit of MLB. A couple little gambling, a couple little things you might want to watch for if you're interested in gambling on MLB. There's a couple teams that got some easy schedules coming up because it's about to be and it's kind of going down to the hunt for the wild card or playoffs.
Oh yeah.
So we got a lot to talk about. Again, we want to thank everyone for tuning in on the Sports Book. KM Radio, we go ham. KM Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G and Big Lou. Another Tuesday night in the books. Let's talk about. We're still talking about some basketball. Let's talk about the impact you think Kyle Lowry will have in Miami. What do you? I mean, the Raptors. I guess he's been with the Raptors for a minute, right?
Yes, he's been there. He's been there for a minute.
Had a huge fan base. Won a title. How big of an impact you think it's going to have on Miami?
Oh, that's gonna shoot them straight up, right up under. For me, it'll put them right up under Philly as far as the East pecking order, because you know you got Brooklyn. I mean, you got the Bucks, of course. You got Brooklyn. You know, you got Philly, and I believe, well, not. I can't put them over Atlanta. So I say they're right there with Atlanta. I'll say right there with Atlanta when it comes to the East. If you want to break them down with Kyle Lowry addition, that gives Jimmy Butler help, space to court out. You know, have some shots, because that makes up for what Jimmy doesn't do. Jimmy's not a big 3-point shooter or, you know, score for that matter. But what he does, he's excellent at. So he'll make up for the points that Jimmy lacks in. So that'll be a great addition. So I'll say right there with Atlanta when it comes to the pecking order in the East, as far as how it sits up, if they land him there. Now I do believe that, yes, the 3-point shooting, spacing the floor, and people kind of moving away from the bigs, but they found out with Giannis winning the championship that the bigs are going to have to come back a little.
Yeah. They're
going to have to come back. I believe, and just like with the Lakers, I believe Andre Drummond plays a bigger role, and they'll probably look for one more, just like when they had JaVale and Dwight Howard that work for them.
Right.
They got a ring out of that. You know, so
right.
yeah.
Now Dwight Howard is going to be going back to. Looks like he's going to be going back to the Lakers.
Oh, really? Now
that's what I just got a feed on that.
Yeah,
and
that's probably where he needs to be. I think that's where he needs to be.
He's a good fit. I mean, he can score. He's a big. He seems to work well with LeBron. I thought when they did play.
Got a consistent, semi good. He's good at the free throw line as well.
Yes,
like you say, excellent defender. So I believe that's where Dwight Howard needs to be, because that's where he played his best comeback ball and he was his happiest. You know, so I think that's where he needs to be.
One thing about him is he's had a really good career.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he ever lived up to the hype, though.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he was set up to be the heir apparent to Shaq, but when he came out with the Superman, Shaq just did all that. You know, he'll give him his just due, but he won't give him his flowers. You know.
Right. And he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't. And it just kind of like, I mean, he was in Houston. That didn't go well. I mean, it's just. But I think he's a very good basketball player. He brings, and I'm sure they'll get him for a decent price.
Yeah,
he'll make some money, and he definitely can help them. There's no doubt about that. I think that would be a good add-on. But yeah, because he didn't get re-signed, so he's gonna. So I guess the Lakers are looking. He's gonna go back to the Lakers. So I mean, that's kind of one of the things. You know, we always talk about this. We talk about, injuries. Wentz, another injury, man.
Another injury. This dude will not let me root for him, bro.
I'm telling you, 5 to 7 weeks, they're saying.
Yes, 5 to 7 weeks. So that's the middle. So he'll miss all of the
September and part of
the schedule.
Yeah. September, October, he'll be back. He should be back by end of October. I was just like, wow, this is brutal. He can't. And what's so crazy is if they get someone else to come in, and you win. If he misses 7 games, and you're 5-2. I say you got to roll with that quarterback.
Yeah, and there's already headlines about trade options for Carson Wentz, and I'm like, Christ, he hasn't even played preseason yet. Come on, guys, but
yeah,
and
that's what they needed. The Colts need a man. I'm telling you, the Colts are stacked on talent, both sides, and and Frank is a great coach. He's just lacking that. I mean, Phillip Rivers, 1-year deal. I thought Phillip Rivers looked as good as he had looked in years.
Yes, I did too.
Because Phillip Rivers will throw you a pick. It's coming. Just wait on it.
He's going to give you bread basket.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, it ain't come yet. Oh, no, wait, it's coming. But yeah, he played a 1-year deal. He looked good. He went out on top. I mean, he had a great last year, so he got to go. And I know that went. I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to see. I mean, this poor guy may never play as a Colt. He may get traded when he comes back. I don't know. It all depends, I'm sure, on I'm sure it all depends, but yeah, I was like in disarray. I was just, wow,
this is brutal, because
it really is
now. Everything's about to crank up, and your quarterback goes down.
Yeah.
So now we have to go find a veteran quarterback, and in this short amount of time, we gotta scale back everything we were planning to do this season to get this guy some type of basic structure so we can work with until we get a quarterback back or on the field. because he still has to develop the chemistry and work with, all that still has to happen.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. And
I
they got
feel
nothing.
bad for my guy, because I want to see guys win. I don't want guys to have the injuries, be the factor of their careers, especially when we've seen what he was,
Yeah. That's it is a shame. And then Thursday night we got the Dallas and Green Bay for the Hall of Fame game, which I'm sure that will be a light. We probably see Dak the first 4, maybe 8 downs. I'm sure we'll see Rodgers for the first 4 or 8 downs. I think after that it'll be, I think it will be, second string coming in, trying to get everybody just warmed up. I will say this about Rodgers. Rodgers came back, answered all the questions at the interview. He didn't run from me. I mean, he was pretty forthcoming. Said he was all in on this season. Going to try to make the best of it from there. Which I think that's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, because he really couldn't, and they were like, and I know they felt like, nah, we're not trading you.
Right.
So what we can do is work something out. So now he has an
a 1-year
option
deal
after this season, and he has an option to do another one or something based on how he feels.
Yeah, based on how he feels. We just have to see.
But I think they're ready. I think they're ready to move on because the GM. That's when a GM selects quarterback in the draft, he's got to prove it. He's got to prove that his draft was worth it. So I believe it is a one and done for Aaron, and where he ends up, who knows? Maybe Denver does pull the trigger and bring him in. We don't know after that, but we'll see.
Well, one thing that I mean, when they drafted Love, I mean, they could have had a talk with Rodgers and said, "This is what we're doing.
Right.
This is why we're doing it. We're not trying to get you out of here, but we're trying to groom. We're trying to groom another quarterback. Especially God forbid you get hurt, or everybody wants him to be so hung up on one player. Oh, that's our favorite player. We got to give him everything. And then when he gets hurt, we have nothing to back us up. And then you're complaining about us losing.
Now we're losing.
That's a problem. Yeah, now we're losing. Now that's a problem. So I get it, a little bit of his ego, but the thing is, as long as he keeps doing what he's doing, I mean, nobody was going to replace him. I believe in my heart of hearts, I just don't think Green Bay's defense is I think it's good, but I think it's not good enough to take them to the Super Bowl. That's my opinion.
Right. Good, but not great.
Yeah, not great. I think they're. I think they'll probably go 12-4. Might make a good run, but I don't see. It just like I said. You start looking at these Super Bowls, and Tampa Bay's defense was bad to the bone.
Right.
Yeah.
Lights out. Everybody's back.
The year before that, Kansas City's defense played lights out. So I guess where I'm going, when Denver lost to Seattle, defense was – you got to have it takes a great defense to complement that offense. And it's great to try to outscore people at times. It makes for a great show. But at the end of the day, I mean, it just –
you got to stop the other guys from scoring, too.
Yeah, yes. And you can't leave your defense on the field for all day.
Right.
You just can't it's just one of those things. So I think, like I said, I don't know. I mean, I guess if a lot of stuff comes down to matchups. And I guess if everything matches up just right, and they have a shot. I'm not saying they don't have a shot, but it's going to be it's going to be a rough go for them. That's for sure. I mean, there's a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams that are going to be tough. I mean, I think the AFC is a little more stacked. I'd say that. I mean, because we got Kansas City, the Ravens, Buffalo, the Titans. Don't be surprised if Miami goes 10-6,
right.
10-7.
Cleveland's right there.
Cleveland's right there, and you don't know what New England's going to do.
Right. Miami's, trying to.
They got enough talent.
They got enough talent. They're trying to start a little steam. It's a gauntlet to go through, and that was another point I was going to bring up about Green Bay. Now they should run through their division. Everybody's starting over, pretty much. You know what you got with Cousins.
Yeah.
Stafford's new, not Stafford, but Goff's new in Detroit.
Yeah.
And you got a brand new quarterback in Chicago. So your division should be easy, because you got Randall Cobb back, and you got another, I think, a defensive player that they had. They got him back. So
right. They're going to have a good year.
Yeah, but that NFC West is going to give them problems. If the NFC North, I think they do play. I think the NFC West is in their playing field as far as like out of division games.
Oh, okay.
San Francisco, all those teams in the West are going to give them problems.
Oh yeah, that's all. I mean, there's no.
All of them, including the Rams with Stafford.
Yeah, when we get back on that, we come back. I mean, we got a few minutes before we go to break, but when I got some stuff on Stafford. I'd gotten some intel, somebody that was out there, got a couple of, but yeah, that's going to be they're in for. I mean, like I said, 12-4 or 13-4. I see no problem with that. I just don't know about a legitimate run. Like I said, making it to the playoffs is one thing, but I don't know if they have a true legitimate, because Seattle, I don't believe is a Super Bowl contender, but I think they're a playoff. They're a good team. You know what I mean? They've lost so many players that I wouldn't consider them a great team, but they always find a way to win.
Right.
So they're always a threat. So and then you got the Cardinals, which are trying to make moves. There's a lot. I mean, you got the Saints still. There's a lot of teams there that's going to be tough to just get by and say, hey, we're going to the Super Bowl. You guys want to come? I mean, yeah, I get it, but I don't know. It definitely will be interesting to see. I think, this year being our longest season ever, 17 games.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. There's a lot of things we'll see.
Right. Who's going to be able to stay and test the course of the season,
Yeah.
So we'll have
and
to
here's
see
another
that.
thing. I hate to say this, but the whole COVID thing could play a factor again.
Yeah.
You could play. Yeah. Staying out for 10 days or 2 weeks, it's a game changer. You start gambling on games, and 2 days before the game, they're like, "Oh, Tom Brady's got COVID-19." You just go, "Whoa, that just changed everything for me."
The whole dynamic. And I do believe that DeAndre Hopkins refused to take the vaccine, so he has to go through the necessary protocols,
right,
to play, which means that it's a 14-day quarantine and plus testing,
right.
Then a lot of testing just to be sure, and
right.
That's the rule. That's their rule. You just gotta abide by it. Stand on what you believe in, but also, understand that where you make your money at, there's going to be policies and procedures that you have to follow.
That's a business.
So, I'm, if you do, you don't. I'm biased on stuff like that because that's your own body, you know.
Sure.
So, but at the same time, understand, stand on your own truths. There are going to be obstacles that you're going to have to go through to live in a society where, you know, it's required.
That's right.
So you have to make your stand, you know. And
yeah, you gotta do whatever makes you feel
whatever works.
Warm and fuzzy. That's all I can do.
Right.
Hey man, we're gonna pay some bills. We got more football when we come back. I want to thank everybody every Tuesday night on the Sports Book on KM Radio, where we go ham. KM Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, Sportsbook. Man, guys, we got a lot to talk about. If you're just tuning in, we've been talking basketball, trades, still talking some football. Got some MLB. MLB, so anybody that likes to gamble on MLB, and I'm not saying this because I am a Yankee fan, but the Yankees they made some moves. There you go. They made some moves. They're on the way. I don't think they're going to win the World Series, but their schedule is weak for the rest of the season. So there'll be some games that you could capitalize on if you want to mix in maybe the Padres in like a parlay or something. That's my thing. So what I was telling you, did a little reading, actually talked to somebody person to person, had some people down. They had some people down at the training camp of LA, and they're saying, this is what their words are, that I'm briefing, that Stafford looks like a stud there.
Wow.
His arm is great. I'm just telling you, everything that I've gotten is like they're so impressed with him about that he's light years ahead of golf. You know, and the thing that, and I like Stanford. He has a big arm. Stanford, he has a big arm. But you know, here we go. We're going to get back into this. You get a guy. He has a breakout season. He has one breakout season, and you want to walk him to the Hall of Fame,
right?
You know what I mean? And kind of golf kind of fits in that. He had a breakout season, which was a year they went to the Super Bowl. And next minute, you know, they wanted to crown him, you know, the greatest quarterback ever. He's going to the – and it's like from that point, he went where? Down. He went to more realistic numbers. And, you know, Stafford's numbers, we had talked about this months ago. His numbers are so incredible considering who he played for.
Right.
And it's not even really about, even though he played for Detroit, but when I read him, I was just like, wow. His completion pass, his percentages, they were really, all things considering, like they were good. And you go, okay, well, he was playing for Detroit. Now it's like, well, he was already pretty good. If you put, and the thing is about LA is stacked with some talent there. He's got receivers, running backs. He's got a defense. I mean, honestly, that's another team in the NFC that may give some people some problems.
They're going to shake some stuff up.
Yeah, because they were already a good team, well coached. You know, I mean, you know, like I said, I think they put these pressures on. You know, they crown these people. Let them do what they do. We had a good year. That's great. But I think sometimes they can't. Look at Wentz.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? If you really look at it, I mean, we still haven't seen exactly what he could do in a 2-year time in a row. I mean, we saw that 1 year that was really special. But since then, what was that, 3 years ago? Or 4? How long ago was that? 3 years?
I think 3 years ago.
They won the Super Bowl?
Was it? Yeah.
Well, last year was – well, yeah, it had to be because last year was
Yeah, it was
Tampa.
3
Year
years
before
ago.
was Kansas City. Yeah. So you realize that we haven't seen a full season from them in 3 years? I mean,
3, 4, or was it? Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because it was, because they beat New England that year. And the following year, so did New England beat Atlanta before or after the Philly Super Bowl? That's where I'm confused. We don't have to hype, we don't have to make a big deal out of it. I'm just
Yeah. But I don't know. Now I don't know.
Yeah,
it was here the year before.
Regardless to that, I agree with what you're saying. Irregardless to that, we haven't seen, what Carson or who Carson Wentz is. We just got a glimpse. It's like, hey, y'all, look at this Ferrari, but we got to go tune it. So it's like, okay, well, don't drive it yet. We got to do some tuning on it. So it's like, we don't know what we got. Yeah,
you don't know what, I mean, it just, and then there's some reports of Lawrence Trevor Lawrence is having problems reading defenses. It's his first 6 months in the league. I'm just, calm down. He might have a bad hard time. I'm like,
of course he's going to have trouble reading defenses. This is the NFL. The defenses are 20 times faster than college. So, yes, he is going to have a problem reading defense.
He'll get it, though. He'll be fine. He'll be I think he'll have I think that's I'm they call me the Dallas hater. I can't wait to see if Dak can live up to the hype. I mean, I'm
he's
not wishing him bad.
He's nursing a little shoulder, little dinger. He's got a little shoulder dinger going on right now. Yeah, it happened in practice. I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday. So he should be okay for the start of the season. But here we go.
Well, I wish him, and I don't wish an injury on anybody. But man, it's hard to come back from some of the you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
And I'm sure he would never admit it, but you got to be. I mean, you got to be worried about that leg. It's just human nature to go, man. I don't want them to break that leg again. That would be because that was a bad break.
Yes, it was. And,
it was a bad. I mean, it was.
And I'm guessing, is that the same leg that he plants to throw with, or maybe the sword? I know the shoulder soreness comes from not working. It's like it's like bodybuilding, and then you quit for, for a year, and then you come back, and you try to train like you was training last year. It's going to hurt.
Sure.
So it's out of rhythm.
Yeah.
So I'll give him that. It's just out of rhythm. So.
Yeah, I think they'll. I mean, I think they'll do. I think they'll do. Fine. I mean, like I said, I think they'll do fine if they can fix that. If they can mend that defense up, just a little. I think they'll be fine. And again, it just depends on their schedule. You know what I mean? It just depends on what's because that conference is not. I don't care what anybody says. That conference is not strong.
No.
They want to tell me about in the 1980s. It was. Yeah, it was. It was a great. It
was great then.
Yeah, it was great. Now Washington's got a really good. They got a potential of a really good defense.
Yes.
Yes, they got some.
Yeah, they got some studs there, and they got Fitzmagic, but I believe that Ron Rivera's discipline. He's gonna let Fitzmagic have his magic, but it's not. I don't think he's gonna let him be over the top. But we know what Fitzmagic is. It's Fitzmagic, then he's Fitzmagic.
Oh yeah.
And he's Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
We already know what he is. So if anything, that's gonna be Dallas's problem in their division. You got Jury's still out on Daniel Jones. You got Saquon Barkley coming back. You got some nice free agent add-ons. So you should be better. But I don't believe that they're going to be better than Washington. We don't know what we're dealing with Philly, so
yeah, we don't know.
They just got to figure. They got to figure out how to stay healthy first, and then when they can bring all of their players to the field, then we can make an assessment. But it should be Dallas's. It should be their division to lose once again.
Yeah.
And I'm biased. I am not a Dallas hater. I am a Saints fan, yes. Not a Dallas hater.
Yes.
But it's y'all division to lose. That's all I got to say.
Right. So first week of preseason is Thursday, August 12th.
Mm-hmm.
It's Washington at New England, and Pittsburgh at Philly. That's a Thursday night. Two Thursday games, and then we're gonna have Friday games, which we got 3 Friday games. Tennessee on the Friday the 13th.
Oh.
Tennessee and Atlanta. I know, right? Tennessee and Atlanta, Buffalo and Detroit, Dallas and Arizona, and then Saturday. So this is kind of weird. So then Saturday we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games on Saturday, and 1 game on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, I am. I'm a little. Okay. I'll go with that.
Yeah,
whatever.
That's Saturday's college football day. It's college football day.
Yeah.
Saturday rolls the college. That's my vibe. But we'll see.
What's funny is
that's 1 game on Sunday.
That Saturday 1 game on Sunday at 12.
Wow.
So Saturday game they start at 12. 1 starts at 12. Then it goes 1 at 3, 2 at 6. 2 at 6:30, 1 at 7, 1 at 7:30, 1 at 8, 1 at 9. So they're kind of dominating the whole
day, pretty much.
Yeah, the whole day. Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of definitely kind of different. And then let's look at week 2. Let's see if they changed it for week 2. No, week 2. So what they do on week 2 is they have 1 Thursday game, 2 Friday games, a bunch of Saturday games, and 2 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday.
Now I'm imagining all of the teams that play on Saturday will have a game Sunday. That's probably why it's lesser games on Sunday. But that's weird. So no football night in America? I mean,
I guess maybe because it's preseason. Maybe you think maybe.
Maybe, and then that way they can broaden their coverage of preseason games. I get that part, but maybe it's different. When the season starts, but I really think that's weird. Still,
it's definitely
unless they're all regional, games that they're showing.
Like I said, this year with the 17 games, and like I said, I think you'll see half the games won't mean anything and the other half will. But it doesn't change Week 16 in the NFL neither, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's kind of how Week 16 is. Some games mean something and some games don't. You know what I mean? Some people are just playing for pride. Some people have already cashed out. But I think it definitely will be interesting. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with let's see. Trying to pull up something. And then pretty much week 3 set up the same way. So I mean, that's pretty much that's it really right there. I mean, that's all. 3 weeks, and then we got. I think the season starts with a. Let me see. Week 1 starts. Yeah, September 9th. Yeah, Thursday, September 9th. So that would be, and that's going to be well, see, now this isn't making, oh no, it's Sunday. Okay. I was like, wait a minute, they're going to, so the regular season starts September 9th. Dallas and Tampa, which I think will be very interesting. I think Dallas has to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Week 1, I'm saying Dallas has to win that. You want to know why? Because if they don't win it, I mean, it really doesn't matter. But I think if they beat Tampa, it makes them look like a serious contender.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if you don't beat Tampa, it's just like, oh yeah, you're not Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Tom Brady beat you.
Right. And it increases and it solidifies some of the hype. This is what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I really think Dak's coming out with vengeance to prove a point.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really think that Dak's in his feelings about all the yardage he gained and all, and which is cool. Whatever keeps you motivated. I'm sure he wants to prove that why I got the money and I should have got more.
Right
and
now you're just stat-tastic. Not, you're stat-tastic right now, Dak. And that's not
I like it.
Yeah, and I love that. He's hometown.
Yeah.
So that's not a slide. That's not a slick shot at that. But he's stat-tastic right now. You gotta have a little. You gotta have a little hardware, right? It's the team you play for. I know it's a lot of pressure, but you got to check now, and I believe that he'll play up to it. I honestly do. It's just the coaching right now. They've got sufficient players. Depends on the offensive line. Can they get back to what it was? But I do believe that he can do it.
Do you think Zeke's gonna get back to form?
He came in lightweight this year, so that's good. He came in a little bit under shape. I do believe that Tony Pollard, it makes him motivates him to get his, name back, as part of that, nucleus, because even though his name started ringing bells last season, Tony Pollard, and then you got Jerry talking about him.
Yeah.
Well, that's a slap in the face. Jerry's my guy.
Right.
You're talking about a bag of running back. So I got to step my game up. So I believe that's the motivation for him. That's an excellent 1-2 punch, though.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And the thing is Zach didn't have a Zeke didn't have a terrible year. But again, I mean, if you got a running back that runs 1,000 yards a season, you know what I mean? But, they sometimes are pushing these numbers like, well, your rookie season, he ran for 16. I mean, yeah, I get it. But, I mean, after a while, people got you. They're catching your number. Right. You got the target on you. They're not just going to let you – you're not going to give – you're going to have to earn it a little bit differently than – It's just really – I don't know. It's kind of different. We can't wait to see. Hey, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Sports Book. We really appreciate you, man, being Big Lou. And remember, man, we're here every Tuesday night on KM Radio. All you got to do, like I said, we got a bunch of good programming on KM Radio. Search it. All you got to do is press the button. You ain't got to download anything. All you got to do is press the button. It's the easiest thing because I'm not the most computer illiterate. And he said, just press the button. I was like, I can do that. So, all right. So I want to thank everyone, man. You guys have a great night, Big Lou. We'll see you next week. KM Radio, we go ham.
Hell.